All right, everyone, we start off today talking once again about the Whitehouse cocaine scandal and at this point, provably resultant cover-up. The original cope by especially the legacy media, circling wagons for the Biden admin, of course, was, some random tourist left a baggie of cocaine inside of the secure zone of the West Wing of the White House. That explanation didn't make a huge amount of sense to begin with. But when Andrew Bates, who is a staffer for Biden, was asked the other day about the issue, are they going to confirm or deny that this cocaine may have belonged to Hunter or something like that, he invoked the Hatch Act, which literally has nothing to do with it. It has to do with not using government resources to promote or disparage political campaigns. How that has anything to do with the White House's ability to effectively confirm or to effectively deny that it could be Hunter's, they could just deny it entirely and say, look, the cocaine was left there by some staffer. It was Andrew Bates' coke, of course. It was left there by a Secret Service agent or something, which makes more plausible sense. I'll go through the three potentially guilty parties and why they would be the ones that you would probably look at in such an investigation. Invoking the Hatch Act makes you look guilty. It makes it look like you don't want to weigh in because you would have to confirm. You don't want to lie to everyone and end up losing your job. You might still have a political position if the administration comes tumbling down because it turns out it was Hunter Biden's cocaine. Well, that really screws with his plea deal, makes his daddy look pretty fucking stupid, and makes White House security look dumb in the process. They just let Hunter bring his coke in here and store it in the visitor's cubby. That makes a lot of sense, so I guess the West Wing of the White House isn't secure at all. Now, here's my thoughts. Like yesterday, I'll reiterate. The first potential party that would be responsible would be someone in the inner circle of Biden's own family. These people do not have to go through the same security procedures that other people do in order to access the White House. Hunter Biden is recognizable. He basically shows them his ID and they wave him in. They're not going to check him for weapons. They're not going to check him for drugs. There's no pat down or anything like that. He's part of the family currently residing at the White House. Just like with Joe Biden. When Joe Biden goes into the White House as president, he doesn't go through a security procedure. His wife doesn't have to go through that. Other high-ranking individuals, Obama, a close personal friend, and former president in his case, they're not going to shake down Obama in order to let him in the White House. So somebody politically connected very close to Biden. That's group one. Group two is arguably more damaging if it turns out to be the case, and I highly doubt we're ever going to get any closure because even though you do have security cameras there, and we would probably have a clear shot of the face of who left the cocaine there, the reason that they're not going to release that is it would be a major national scandal. Group number two, the most damaging, would be as if it was a member of White House security. You would have endless reaming of the White House. Hey, you're obviously you're not vetting the Secret Service or the security that was there properly because one of them is coming to work drugged up and getting so high they forgot their coke was in the cubby. That is a distinct and probably the most likely possibility, that it was a security person. That's very damaging. Because if your security people are high, government agents, especially in that sort of role, Secret Service, CIA, are known to use a lot of coke. They have access to it. It disappears from lockups all around the country all of the time. I wonder where all of it goes. Most of it goes up the CIA and Coast Guard's nose, I suppose. That'd be pretty damaging because it would show a White House that's effectively in disarray. It's not being properly managed, that the President of the United States is being guarded by cokeheads. The third, and I don't think this is as likely if it's possible, would be a foreign dignitary of some sort. And be a foreign dignitary. Again, they get better clearance. They're going to get a rudimentary pat down, but they've probably been to the White House before. They may have diplomatic immunity anyway. And the Biden White House doesn't want an international incident because the person could have come from a closely allied country, from Japan or the UK or something like that. And they're currently communicating with that country and saying, look, we got a problem. Look for firings of high-level diplomatic individuals over the coming weeks, and maybe we'll find out the culprit. But that's only if that was actually the source. The most likely is a security person. The second most likely is quite literally Hunter Biden. And that would be why they're not going to release the footage that they definitely have etc., etc., the visitors' logs that we know that they have. That's why that won't be made public. It would interfere with the upcoming election. It would virtually ensure Biden's annihilation if that were to happen. It would be a big scandal. It already is. I mean, again, a scheduled narcotic of some quantity, we're not sure, was brought into a secure location at the topmost level in D.C., and they're claiming that they have no clue who it is, who did it. I found it very telling that the legacy media articles saying, well, we'll probably never know. We probably will never know. We'll probably never know who brought the cocaine in. Happened within hours of this incident actually being disclosed in the first place. It was almost like the articles were pre-written. This is where AI came in. And some of these articles were not checked for proper grammar and style. They seemed a little bit wonky. I'm thinking that the so-called journalists are expediting their work. You may not want to do that just to scoop people because you might accidentally disclose to the public that you're not even writing your own articles at this point. It'll make you seem lazy, kill off the legacy media faster, so I guess that's a good thing in that sense. The Uniparty response, again, invoking the Hatch Act to not have to confirm that it was someone close to Biden that brought cocaine into the White House, is beyond the pale because the Hatch Act has absolutely nothing to do with it. This is, by the way, the same individual, I think, who was rampaging about MAGA in an official White House role. It's interesting because that's actually a campaign slogan. It doesn't have to do with something tertiarily related, like again, supposedly a random tourist bringing cocaine into the White House. If that's the case, hell, if it were some random tourist, oh shit, I didn't leave my bag in the car. Well, it's too late to go back out and put it in the glove compartment. Well, I'll take my chances. Yeah, it's just a little coke, and I'm sure that these Secret Service agents have seen it before. They won't care too much. Dude, you had to evacuate part of the West Wing because they were afraid it was a contagious material. They were afraid it was, anthrax spores or something like that. This is a major news story. Other than the resultant cover-up and ass-covering pieces by the legacy media, if they just came out and said, well, we're not exactly sure who left it here, it's not ours, so it's probably a tourist. If you had an official response at all at the White House level, Karine Jean-Pierre won't weigh in on it. Nor will they, by the way, weigh in on Joe Biden's grandkid that he won't acknowledge exists, or etc. Nor do they want to weigh in on Hunter Biden's revision of his child support payments. Nor do they want to weigh in on basically anything related to Joe Biden or most of his family. It's very interesting. It's an absentee presidency at this point sometimes, basically other than giving him fluff pieces and not doing the same thing they did with Bushisms. The legacy media prefers not to even talk about him at all. Thank you, Kitty. That's about all. Peace out.